Hi everyone, today we are going to be talking about projectile motion, how to solve any kind of problem with projectile motion. A little bit of a secret here, but it's all about organization and breaking down the problem. Alright, I'm going to be showing how to do this with an example problem. So a cannon is on a 10-meter cliff and shoots out a cannonball at a certain angle from the horizontal. If the cannonball lands 40 meters from the base of the cliff and takes 7 seconds to hit the ground, with what speed was the cannonball shot out of the cannon? First tip that you should do, and you guys probably already know this, is to draw out the problem. Especially as the problems are getting more difficult, it's really important to draw out, and if you want, to underline key points of what's being asked. So we're going to draw out the problem here. Let's see, we have a 10-meter cliff. Yes, 10-meter cliff. And we have a cannon here. Shoots out a cannonball at a certain angle. Draw it like this. It gets a time of 7 seconds to hit the ground. Let's see, it hits the ground. Oops. Sorry about that. We get 40 meters from the base of the cliff. Anything else? And we're trying to figure out what speed does the cannonball come out of. Okay. Now, this next step, and maybe the most important step, I think I would say the most important step, is to list the unknown and known variables. So list the variables. And what's key to know different with this chapter is there's stuff going on in the X direction and in the Y direction. So we have to list both things that are happening in the X direction and the Y direction. So X and Y. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to make something to easily organize everything like this. X and Y. Okay, so I'm just going to list things out. Acceleration in the X, acceleration in the Y. Velocity initial in the X, velocity initial in the Y. Displacement in the X, displacement in the Y. Velocity final in the X, velocity final in the Y. And the last variable here is time. And you might think, oh, is that in the X direction or is that in the Y direction? But time doesn't have a direction. So time is going to be the only thing that's going to be the same for both the X and the Y. So you can put in the middle here, but maybe to make it less complicated, I'm going to put time on both sides. And this is the only thing that's going to be the same for both sides. Okay? Everything else is separate. Okay, so let's start listing what we know and what we don't know. I personally love starting out with acceleration because it's almost always the same. In the X direction, it's pretty much always 0 because we're not talking about air resistance, so it's not going to slow down in the X direction. It's not going to speed up in the X direction. Acceleration Y, almost always the same, negative 9.8 meters per second squared, or negative 10, whatever your teacher uses. Velocity initial in the X, that's kind of what we're looking for. We're trying to find how fast is it going in the X and Y direction at the beginning. Displacement in the X, we know it's going to go 40 meters in the X direction. In the Y direction, we see that it starts 10 meters high and ends below that 10 meters, so it's going to be falling negative 10 meters, or it's going to be falling 10 meters. We don't know how fast the cannonball is going to be when it hits the ground, so we don't know this and we don't know this. And we do know that it takes 7 seconds to hit the ground, so time is 7 seconds. Okay. Now that we list the variables, what we have to do is we have to think about what we need. So we're looking for what the speed it was shot out at. So we're looking for what the velocity is it got shot out with in the X direction and also in the Y direction. So now that we figured that out, we found our unknown that we're looking for. A key thing to know here is before we can use an equation to solve this, we need to know, we have to have 3 known variables. Luckily, on the Y side, we have 3 known variables. We have the acceleration, we have the displacement, and we have the time. Okay, so these 3 variables is what's going to help us find the 4th variable right here. So now let's look at our equation sheet. Hopefully you have this equation sheet already, and let's see which one we could use. We can't use this first one because we don't know what the final velocity is, and that's not going to help us. The second one here, when we look at the Y direction, we have displacement, We don't know v initial, but we have time and we have acceleration. So we can use this one, and this will help us find this v initial. But instead of x, I'm going to convert everything to y. So it's very important, once you find the equation, so I'm going to say find equation, that you only use it for either the x or the y. In this situation, it's going to be the y. So I'm going to do, maybe I'll do a little dotted line like this. I'm going to do displacement in the y is equal to v initial yt plus 1/2 ayt squared. Remember not to mix up the x's and the y. It's a common problem I see students do. So displacement in the y, -10. V initial in the y, that's what we're looking for. Time is 7 plus 1/2 -9.8 times 7 squared. Okay, let me try to simplify this. -10 is equal to v initial y 7 plus, and then let's see, 7 squared times, oops, and I get -240.1. Okay. So once you do the math for this, we can see the v initial in the y direction is going to be equal to 32.87 meters per second. Okay. So what we just found here, you might be tempted, oh, that's the answer here. But what we found is how fast this cannonball goes in the y direction when it's shot out at the beginning. So that's not how fast it was shot out, that's how fast it was shot out in the y direction. So now we have to find out how much it's shot out in the x direction. So again, let's see what variables we know. It's the same variables actually. We know the acceleration is 0, we know the displacement is 40, and we know the time it's 7. But even though it's the same variables, they have different values. Okay, so we're going to use the same equation again, but remember they have different values. So let's see, we have displacement in the x is equal to v initial xt plus 1/2 axt squared. Displacement in the x is 40, v initial in the x, that's what we're looking for. Time is 7, and since acceleration is 0, this whole thing is 0 here. So this is a little bit more simple. V initial in the x, this is going to be equal to 40 divided by 7, which is 5.71 meters per second. Okay. Okay. Now we found out, okay, it gets shot out at 5.71 meters per second. So it's like, okay, how fast did it get shot out with? 32.87 or 5.71? This might be a little bit confusing. However, it's the combination of both. What we're going to do is we're going to do Pythagorean theorem to figure out what it gets shot out with. So for example, if it's going 5.71 in the x direction and 32.87 in the y direction, the speed is going to be the combination of both of these. So I'm going to do 5.71 squared plus 32.87 squared, and this will equal the speed squared. So it's going to be 5.71 squared plus 32.87 squared, and then I'm going to find the square root of that, which is going to give me 33.27 meters per second. And that's my answer. And I know that was a lot there. A lot happened right there. But it's really about breaking it all up, drawing it, organizing things to the x and y. And once you've done that, you can just go step by step and solve it. It's going to take some time, but if you use these steps, you're going to be able to solve any kind of projectile motion problem. It gets hard when it gets 2D, but you guys got this. Thanks for watching, everybody.